You can now proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. So, Speaker, we considered the report, the petition yesterday. We had the petitioners here. And since today is not a sitting day, we request that we bring the response on Monday.
Thank you. Next order. Gender.
The report is ready. Just giving the clerk a few minutes to bring it to the chamber.
Yeah. Can it be deferred to tomorrow 2:30 so that you can have more time? Tomorrow 2:30?
Okay. But we were ready. Thank you.
You are ready when? We are here now. Next order, please. Chair, let's proceed. You don't have the report. You are ready.
Maybe we can come back after
2:30, please. Prepare yourself. Next order.
Order number 5, papers.
Chair, budget and appropriation. To table the committee's report on the Makueni County financial year 2025-2026 first quarter budget implementation report. Chair, I've seen Honorable Dennis Musyoka. Member of the committee, please. Where is the chair? I'm a member of the committee. The vice chair, Honorable Francis.
The Speaker. So, Speaker, that report is ready. I don't know where it is placed. But
County Executive for approval of an overdraft facility to meet payroll obligations and the other short-term operational costs laid on the table of the Assembly on 28 April 2026. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Next order.
Order number 7, statements.
Chairperson, Committee on Gender, Youth, Children, Sports, Social Service to respond to the statement number 03 of 2026 as was requested on 3rd March 2026 by the member for Pitini Ward regarding the lack of playground in Watertown and its environment and its environs. Chair, Honorable Mutindi, Elizabeth Mutindi, she was here. Member of the committee, I can see Honorable Maneno, Honorable Alexander Mulemba, Honorable Josephine. There are several members. Proceed. Honorable Maneno.
Please, Mr. Speaker, sir, give us up to tomorrow 2:30. Yes, we will.
Honorable members, it seems today members were not ready to bring the business of the house.
No, Mr. Speaker, it is not ready. Please.
Chairperson, Committee on Health. To respond to a statement number 26 of 2025, as was requested on 18th August 2025 by the member for Boni Ward regarding the equipping of Boni Family Hospital.
Mr. Speaker, We had responded, but we had agreed with the request that the statement remain open until the consideration of the financial year budget approval to see that whether the estimates will have been factored, and we had agreed with the request on that.
Honorable Mulemba.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I concur with the chair of that committee that you direct that the statement remains open until deliberations on the 2026-2027 budget are done. Then they can close the statement after we realize the budget. Thank you.
Chair, is that you are in agreement? Thank you. So, then Chairperson, Committee on ICT, Education and Internship, to respond to the statement number 31 of 2025 as requested on 22nd October 2025 by the member for Ilima Ward regarding the
Yes, sir.
deferred to.
Yes, sir.
Deferred to. Next order. Sorry, honorable members, before we proceed to the next order, there is also another statement on health services. In regard to statement requested on 16 February 2025 by the member from Bitini Ward regarding the expenditure of SHA reimbursement to hospitals in the county. Sorry, I missed that. Please proceed, Chair.
Mr. Speaker, we got the answer and we met with the requester. And if the requester would tell us what he wishes, because he was satisfied when we met, we proceed, and maybe the requester, because he told us he's okay with that.
Have you ever responded to the statement? Have you ever broadened the...
Yeah, it was answered, but it had missing. When we met with him, then we requested for the answer, we got it. When he came, he told us he's okay with that.
Honorable Ben Tivu.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I want to agree with the chair and the committee that we sat, and I'm satisfied up to what was responded, but I want to request members to take their own time and go through the documents. You can see in the front there we have so many documents, but according to me, I'm okay. Thank you.
The bulky statements on the table office. So, honorable members, if you are interested in looking at the reports, you can consult the table also, you can move forward and pick from your ward so that you can look at them. So, honorable members, can we move now to the next order? Clerk?
Order number 8, motion. The report of the Committee on Finance and Social Economic Planning on the county and sub-county hospital quarterly reports and financial statements for the period ended 30 June 2025.
Chairperson, Committee on Finance and Socio-Economic Planning.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to move the following motion. The report of the Committee on Finance and Socioeconomic Planning on the county and sub-county hospitals, that is Makueni County Referral Hospital, Chambeke, Dongoni, Makindu, Kambu, Kiasau, Tawa, Sultan Ahmad, Mutiambua, Matiliko, Kilungu, Kalawa, Kibwezi, Booni, Emali, Mutitwande, and Mukuyuni sub-county hospitals quarterly reports and financial statements for the period ended 30th June 2025. Mr. Speaker, sir, wish to inform the House that this report contains, it is omnibus in nature. It contains 17 reports from these sub-county hospitals that I've just mentioned. And because I want the members to remain alert and active, I will just go straight to every report or committee observations and recommendations, Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker, sir, on the Makueni County Referral Hospital, the committee analyzed the financial statements and observed the following: that the hospital realized 94% of the projected annual revenues by the end of the reporting year. All expenditures of the hospital were within the budgetary ceilings for each voted item. The hospital closed the quarter with a surplus of Kenya shillings 26,143,330.76. The accuracy of the reported financials was verifiable and the reports were prepared in prescribed reporting formats. Mr. Speaker, the committee made the following recommendations: that the Board of Management for the Makueni County Referral Hospital showed prudent financial management, optimum revenue realization from the targeted resources, and the accurate financial reporting of the operations and expenditures of the hospital. And further, we recommend that this being the apex hospital in the county, it should conduct adequate training to the other county facilities to ensure such compliance across all the county health facilities, especially the sub-county hospitals. Mr. Speaker, the second report is on Chambeke Sub-County Hospital quarterly report and financial statements for the period ended 30th June 2025. Mr. Speaker, sir, the committee as well analyzed the financial statements and reported that the following: that the hospital realized 90% of the projected annual revenues by the end of the reporting year, that all expenditures of the hospital were within the budgetary ceilings for each voted item as per the final budget. The hospital closed the quarter with a surplus of 490,607 shillings. Then for Mr. Speaker, the fourth committee observation is that the statement of the Board of Directors and the statement of financial position were not duly signed. Mr. Speaker, the committee observed, made the following recommendation in regards to Chambeke, that the Board of Management, we commend them for the preparation of the first set of their financial statements of the hospital and the financial discipline exhibited as revenue targets were achieved and the expenditures of the hospital were within the budget. Mr. Speaker, the second recommendation from the committee is that the committee recommends that the statement of financial position and statement of the Board of Directors be duly signed by the authorized signatories to ensure there is compliance with the financial reporting requirements and accountability. Mr. Speaker, sir, I hope members are following with me and they have the report on their phones. Mr. Speaker, the third report is on Dongo and Sub-County Hospital quarterly report and financial statements for the period ended 30th June 2025. Mr. Speaker, the committee analyzed the financial report from Dongoni Sub-County Hospital and made the following observation: that the hospital realized 1% of the projected annual revenues by the end of the reporting year, and 2, all expenditures of the hospital were within the budgetary ceilings for each voted item. 3, the hospital closed the quarter with a surplus of 565,301 shillings. The accuracy of cash and cash equivalent as at 1st July 2024 could not be ascertained since the information is missing in the notes. And 5, the comparative figures for the previous year's period were also not disclosed. Mr. Speaker, The committee recommends the following. The committee commend the board for the prudent by financial management, optimum revenue realization, because you can see that they had realized 100% of the projected annual revenues, and that the board of management should ensure that all notes and as provided in the report to facilitate the authentication of the accuracy of all financial information reported and to comply with the prescribed report standards and formats. And 3, the board of management should ensure full disclosures of the comparative figures from previous period. And 4, the board of management should ensure that depreciation is provided for in each class as according to the PPE, that is plant and equipment, and as disclosed. Mr. Speaker, the fourth report is on Makendo Sub-County Level 4 Hospital Quarterly Report and the financial statements for the period ended that year, the June 2025. Mr. Speaker, as well, the committee set and analyzed the financial statements from the Makendo Sub-County Hospital, and the committee made the following observation, that the hospital realized 96% of the projected annual revenues by the end of the reporting year, and the absorption rate was at 94%. The expenditures of the hospital on medical and clinical costs and employee costs exceeded the budgetary ceilings. And 3, the hospital closed the quarter with a surplus of 6,700,8,714 shillings. While the overall receipts were within budget, there was underfunding from the county government at 20%, which might affect service delivery. Mr. Speaker, the committee recommended as follows. The Board of Management, of course, has shown a prudent financial management, optimum revenue realization from the targeted sources, and the accurate financial reporting of the operations and the expenditures of the hospital. And 2, the board should identify key drivers of overspending on clinical costs and budget accordingly in the future to ensure expenditure is within the approved financial or final budget. Mr. Speaker, the 5th report is on the Kambu Sub-County Level 4 Hospital. The Kambu Sub-County Level 4 Hospital financial reports shows that the hospital realized only 100% of the projected annual revenues by the end of the reporting quarter. Mr. Speaker, all expenditures of Kambu Hospital were within the budgetary ceilings for each voted item. Mr. Speaker, sir, the hospital closed the quarter with a surplus of 1,302,624 shillings. And 4, the accuracy of the reported financials were verifiable, and the reports were prepared in the prescribed reporting formats and templates. Mr. Speaker, sir, on Kambu, the committee recommends as follows. The committee commend the Board of Management for adhering to approved budget and maintaining a sound financial discipline, as both the revenue collection and the expenditure of the hospital were within the approved final budget. And 2, the board should ensure that the current budgetary controls are maintained and improved for continued financial stability. Mr. Speaker, the 6th report is on Kisau Sub-County Hospital. The committee analyzed the financial reports and found the following, that the hospital realized 90% of the projected annual revenues by the end of the reporting year. 2, all expenditures of the hospital were within the budgetary ceilings for each voted item. Mr. Speaker, sir, the 3rd observation is that the hospital closed the quarter with a surplus of 3,472,492 shillings. And 4, receivables from exchange transactions of Kenya shillings 6,959,252 shillings reported as part of the hospital assets did not have a breakdown in the notes in the financial statements. Mr. Speaker, the committee made the following recommendations: that the Board of Management the committee commends the Board of Management for careful financial management, optimum revenue realization, from the targeted sources and the accuracy in financial reporting. Mr. Speaker, the board should ensure that all figures presented in the financial statements are supported by disclosures in the notes to the financial statements for transparency and compliance with the reporting standards or requirements. Mr. Speaker, the 7th report is on Tower Sub-County Level 4 Hospital Quarterly Report and financial statements for the period ended 30th June 2025. Mr. Speaker, on Tower, the committee made the following observation. Tower Hospital realized 132% of the projected annual revenues by the end of the reporting year. And 2, all expenditures of the hospital were within the budgetary ceilings for each voted item. 3, the hospital closed the quarter with a surplus of 16,294,226,000. And 4, depreciation rates used to depreciate PPE are not disclosed in the notes. Mr. Speaker, the committee made the following recommendations. The committee commended the Board of Management for strong financial management as revenue targets were met and expenditure remained within the approved budget. Mr. Speaker, I think if you have heard, this is the best performing hospital in terms of financial management and stability. So Tower is doing good, and that the board should ensure that the prescribed reporting format is adhered to while preparing the reports to guarantee that all the required information is contained in the reports. And 3, the management should explore other revenue diversification strategy like grants to increase its revenue. Mr. Speaker, sir, the 8th report is Sultan Ahmad Sub-County Level 4 Hospital Quarterly Report and financial statements for the period ended 30th June 2025. Mr. Speaker, sir, the committee analyzed the financial statement from Sultan Ahmad and made the following observation. That Sultan Ahmad Hospital realized 74% of the projected annual revenues by the end of the reporting year. And 2, all expenditures of the hospital were within the budgetary ceilings for each voted item. And 3, the accuracy of reported financials were verifiable and the reports were prepared in the prescribed reporting format. Mr. Speaker, sir, the committee commends the Board of Management for the prudent financial management, optimum revenue realization from the targeted sources, and the accurate financial reporting of the operations and the expenditures of the hospital. Mr. Speaker, the 9th report is on Mutiambua Sub-County Level 4 Hospital. On Mutiambua, Mr. Speaker, sir, the Mutiambua Hospital realized 53% of the projected annual revenues by the end of the reporting year. All expenditures of Mutiambua Hospital were within the budgetary ceilings for each voted items. Mutiambua Hospital closed the quarter with a deficit of 226,352 shillings. And the Mutiambua comparative figures, financial accounts for prior years have not been disclosed to the committee. Mr. Speaker, sir, the committee commend the Board of Management for the prudent financial management, optimum revenue realization from the targeted sources, and the accuracy in financial reporting. Mr. Speaker, sir, the board should ensure disclosure of prior year or previous year figures or review and present prior year figures for comparison purposes. Mr. Speaker, sir, the 10th report is Matiliko Sub-Account Level 4 Hospital, quarterly reports and financial statements for the period ended 30th June 2025. Mr. Speaker, sir, on Matiliko Sub-County Hospital, the committee made the following observations after analyzing their financial reports. That the Matiliko Hospital realized 114% of the projected annual revenues by the end of the reporting year. That all expenditures of the Matiliko Hospital were within the budgetary ceilings for each voted items. And the Matiliko Hospital closed the quarter with a surplus of Kenya shilling 3,326,954 shillings. And the accuracy of the reporting financials were verifiable, and the reports were prepared in prescribed reporting format. Mr. Speaker, the committee commend the Board of Management for prudent financial management and optimum revenue realization for the targeted sources and the accuracy in financial reporting of the operations and the expenditures of the Matiliko Hospital. The 11th report, Mr. Speaker, sir, is on Kilungu Sub-County Level 4 Hospital, quarterly report and financial statement for the period ended 30th June 2025. Mr. Speaker, sir, the Kilungu Hospital realized 100% of the projected annual revenues by the end of the reporting year. All expenditures of Kilungu Hospital were within the budgetary ceilings for each voted items. The hospital closed the quarter with a deficit of 1,943,240 shillings. The accuracy of reported financials were not verifiable because the utilization percentages were wrong. However, the reports were prepared in the prescribed reporting format. Mr. Speaker, sir, the Board of Management should ensure due diligence is observed while preparing the financial reports in conformity to the requirements of Section 149, 2, subsection B of the Public Finance Management Act 2012. Mr. Speaker, the 12th report is on Kalawa Sub-County Level 4 Hospital, quarterly reports and financial statements for the period ended 30th June 2025. Mr. Speaker, on Kalawa, after committee analysis, the hospital realized 100% of the projected annual revenues by the end of the reporting year. All expenditures of Kalawa Hospital were within the budgetary ceilings for each voted items. Kalawa Hospital closed the quarter with a deficit of 3,142,017 shillings compared to the previous year with a deficit of 2,240,000. Mr. Speaker, the accuracy of the reported financials were not verifiable because the utilization percentages were wrong. However, the reports were prepared in the prescribed reporting format. Mr. Speaker, sir, the hospital should ensure accuracy of reports and financial statements prepared to reflect the true operations and financial positions of the hospital for the reporting period. Mr. Speaker, sir, the 13th report is on Kibwezi Sub-County Level 4 Hospital quarterly reports and financial statements for the period ended 30th June 2025. Mr. Speaker, sir, on Kibwezi Sub-County Hospital, the Kibwezi Sub-County Hospital realized 80% of the projected annual revenues by the end of the reporting year. Kibwezi Sub-County Hospital expenditures were within the budgetary ceilings for each voted item. The hospital closed the quarter with a surplus of 4,910,989 shillings. The accuracy of the reported financials were verified and the reports were prepared in the prescribed reporting format. Mr. Speaker, sir, the committee commended the Board of Management for the prudent financial management, optimum revenue realization from the targeted sources and the accuracy in financial reporting of operations and expenditures of the hospital. Mr. Speaker, sir, the 14th report is on Bawani Sub-County Level 4 Hospital quarterly reports and financial statements for the period ended 30th June 2025. Mr. Speaker, sir, the financial analysis from the committee shows that the Bawani Hospital realized only 64% of the projected annual revenues by the end of the reporting year. All expenditures of Mbawani Hospital were within the budgetary ceilings for each voted item, except remuneration of directors. Which was 105%, representing overpayment of shillings 20,000. Mbawani Hospital closed the quarter with a surplus of 1,483,840 shillings, and the accuracy of the reporting financials were verifiable, and the reports were prepared in the prescribed reporting format. Mr. Speaker, sir, the committee recommended that in observation of the provisions of Section 149, Section 1, subsection A, B, and 2A of the Public Finance Management Act 2012, and in Regulation 43.2 of the Public Finance Management County Government Regulations of 2015, the Hospital Board should ensure that the hospital expenditures are kept within the budgetary ceilings, especially remuneration of directors should not exceed the budgetary ceiling. Mr. Speaker, the 15th report is on Emali Sub-County Level 4 Hospital. Mr. Speaker, on Emali, The committee observed that Emali Hospital realized 1% of the projected annual revenues by the end of the reporting year. All expenditures of the hospital were within the budgetary ceilings for each voted item, save for medical or clinical costs, which went over by almost 1%, which is equivalent to around 34,982 shillings. Emali Hospital closed the quarter with a surplus of 579,934 shillings, and the accuracy of the reported financials were verifiable, and the reports were prepared in prescribed reporting formats. Mr. Speaker, sir, in observance of the provisions of Section 149, 1A, B, 2A of the Public Finance Management Act 2012 and Regulation 43(2) of the Public Finance Management County Government Regulations of 2015, the Hospital Board should ensure that the hospital's expenditures are kept within the budgetary ceilings. Mr. Speaker, sir, the 16th report is on Motito and Day Sub-County Level 4 Hospital Quarterly Reports and Financial Statements for the period ended 30th June 2025. Mr. Speaker, sir, on Motito and Day Hospital, the hospital realized only 50% of their projected annual revenues. And all expenditures of the Motito and Day Hospital were within the budgetary ceilings for each voted item, save for employee costs, which went over by 10%, equivalent to 428,272 shillings. Mr. Speaker, sir, the hospital closed the quarter with a surplus of 4,024,233, while the accuracy of the reported financials were verifiable, and the reports were prepared in prescribed the reporting format. Mr. Speaker, sir, the committee commend the Board of Management for the prudent financial management, optimum revenue realization from the targeted sources, and the accuracy in financial reporting of operations and expenditures of the hospital, and as per the provisions in the law, that the hospital board should ensure that the hospital's expenditures are kept within the budgetary ceilings. Mr. Speaker, the 17th report and the last report is the Mukuyuni Sub-County Level 4 Hospital Quarterly Reports and Financial Statements for the period ended 30th June 2025. Mr. Speaker, sir, committee analyzed the financial statements of Mukuyuni Sub-County Hospital and made the following observation: that Mukuyuni Sub-County Hospital realized 50% of projected annual revenues by the end of the reporting year. All expenditures of Mukuyuni Hospital were within the budgetary ceilings for each voted item, save for repairs and maintenance, which went over by 49%, equivalent to 63,589 shillings. Mukuyuni Hospital closed the quarter with a surplus of 385,820 shillings, and the accuracy of the financial reports was verifiable, and the reports were prepared in the prescribed reporting format. Mr. Speaker, sir, on Mukuyuni, the committee made the following recommendation: that the Board of Management, we recommend the Board of Management for the prudent financial management, optimum revenue realization from the targeted sources, and the accuracy in financial reporting of the operations of the company, including the expenditures of the hospital. Mr. Speaker, sir, the board should ensure that hospital expenditures are kept within the budgetary ceilings. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I call upon member for Emali Mulala Ward, Honorable Cosmas Kaleli, to second this motion. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. I now propose that this assembly adopt the report of the Committee on Finance and Socioeconomic Planning on county and sub-county hospitals, MCRH, Chambeke, Ndongoni, Makindu, Kambu, Kisau, Tawa, Sultan Hamud, Mutiamboa, Matiliku, Kilungu, Kalawa, Kibwezi, Mbooni, Emali, Mtito Andei, and Mukuyuni. Quarterly reports and financial statements for the period ended 30th June 2025, laid on the table of the Assembly on 30th September 2025. The floor is now open. Honorable Dennis Musyoka.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I just wanted to point out some of issues which I've had from those various hospitals, entities. Honorable Speaker, I think the reporting is so simple, and I feel that we should go deeper as County Assembly of Makueni, and especially the Committee of Finance, on the matters of financial position of the entities. The financial position of an entity, Honorable Speaker, it touches mainly about 3 items, which is liquidity of a company, whereby you should check on the current assets versus the current liabilities to see whether the company or the entity can meet the short-term obligations, Honorable Speaker. The other one is about debt, whether the company or the entity or the hospitals we are talking about, whether they are able to pay their debts, which also should be outlined very well, whether they have debts. Also, they should, I talked about the current assets and the current liabilities. Honorable Speaker, it's also good to know the amount, the current assets of that particular hospital, and also liabilities of that particular hospital. Because when we are told that the financial position of the company, even there is one which is not reflecting the true or the fair financial position of the company or the hospitals I'm talking about, Honorable Speaker, that brings, I think we need to go deeper and get to those figures very well, not just the financial position was good or was showing the true or fair view of the hospital. The other thing, Honorable Speaker, I would like to mention is about equity of that hospital, how the growth has been. That one, maybe they tell us it was 5%, now it has grown to 7% to 8% of the financial statements, Honorable Speaker, of the financial equity of that hospital. So we'll not just say financial position is okay, but we have not looked in 3 items which are very critical to us as accountants, Honorable Speaker. And my fellow accountant knows all this, because when you talk about fair or true financial position, you have to touch those 3 items. And these entities have been there. The hospitals have been there. We have been looking on their quarter report, on annual reports all through. So I think something which is a data which they can get from the books of accounts, Honorable Speaker. Surprisingly, Honorable Speaker, I've had some of them which had budgeted a revenue of 100% and they got 50%. When it comes to expenditure, they are spending above what has been budgeted, Honorable Speaker. That one also needs strong recommendations, Honorable Speaker, not just to tell the management they should, next time they should be careful. What is being careful when it comes to financial matters? When some directors are paying themselves more than what they had budgeted, we tell them to be careful next time. Honorable Speaker, I don't think that is enough. So the finance committee, they should look on those minor items. Yes, they have reported very well on the revenue, on the budget ceiling, deficit or surplus of the entities, and the accuracy and the verifications of financial expenditures and all that, Honorable Speaker. But I think if they mention the figures, the accountants will be able to flow together with them, and also the accountants outside there who are in the public domain, Honorable Speaker, they will be knowing or they will understand how their hospitals or their nearby hospitals are performing, Honorable Speaker. You cannot say you are performing well, like the one which has been mentioned, Honorable Speaker, Motito Ande. The Motito Ande hospital is performing well, but they are collecting 50% of the revenue, and they are spending more than what they have budgeted. Are they performing well? To me, no, Honorable Speaker. Otherwise, I just wanted to point out those matters, and I support. Thank you.
Mishak.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, first allow me to acknowledge and also appreciate what the Committee on Finance has done from those observations and also recommendations derived from the Auditor General's report. I can say, Mr. Speaker, that they are good. But one thing that, Mr. Speaker, I think to me, it is also very important that it is not wrong for the committee to find time and maybe sample, because sampling does not mean that you go to all the institutions or all the facilities. Just sample a few, like 2 or 3 facilities, and then you are able now to get the clear picture of financial status in terms of management and also the revenue generation. Because, Mr. Speaker, if they find that time and go, they can as well understand maybe there are challenges that those facilities are undergoing. They are able to highlight those challenges, and as well, I do understand there are also gaps when it comes to revenue generation. Then when those gaps are identified, then the committee is able now to give additional recommendations, because when they get into those areas, they get finer details. Mr. Speaker, I also understand there is what they get from share reimbursement, and I remember there was a time that we had a discussion on that on the floor of this house. So it is also good to get deeper and also get to understand at what percentage that those reimbursements are actually taken back to those hospitals. Because if the percentage in terms of reimbursement, 100% or 80%, is not realized, then it means their levels of budgeting is also affected. And when it comes to managing their resources, it also becomes a challenge. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, it is my request that the Committee on Finance, as much as they rely on the Auditor General's report, it is also very good to get a picture from those sampled institutions, if they can, better for this house. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Val.
Thank you. I appreciate the Committee of Finance for the good reporting, and I want to acknowledge that we have a lot of potential within our hospitals. If we can run them as entities that can make good profit, we can do a lot and improve the services of our people. We can be able to cultivate and turn around and cultivate back and claw back some of the profits, then to bridge the gaps of drugs that have been missing on and off. So, Mr. Speaker, I would really wish that we continue to audit to know the difference between the hospitals. Which hospitals are doing better and why the others are not doing better, so that we may know where the strengths are lying and where the weaknesses are, so that we can bridge those gaps and encourage them to work as entities that can bring profit while at the same time caring for our patients. I know there are challenges here and there. Many times we get patients within hospitals who are not covered by SHA, who cannot pay, and somehow the government has to come in. That becomes a loss, of course, to the specific hospitals, because within the Constitution is the right of every citizen to access health. So, Mr. Speaker, I would really wish that we continue to audit this report in details and get the real picture of each hospital, so that we can be able to know the real gaps. We can be able to know where there are weaknesses, because the report, as it goes like that, we are not able to tell deep. We need to know and be able to bridge those gaps. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to say the committee has done a very good job You have really touched on some very sensitive issues. But, Mr. Speaker, I want to point out that we have been having a lot of public outcry out there in most of the hospitals. But the figures which have been presented here by the committee, Mr. Speaker, paints a different picture altogether. Mr. Speaker, you find that if I can get an example of an hospital somewhere within Makueni, you find that bulk of what is collected or what they get from SHA or whatever other source, Mr. Speaker, majorly goes to either cash or labor, water and sewerage, telephone, domestic, catering and accommodation, boards and committees, general office supplies and sanitary and other things, Mr. Speaker. So, Speaker, going through those lists of most of the hospitals, very few hospitals have prioritized buying of drugs, Mr. Speaker, and they are supposed to do that. So I'm really wondering, because if you go to Wote, Makueni referral here, or any other hospital, you'll be told by the patients there that they are being sent to the local pharmacies to buy medicine, Mr. Speaker. While actually the hospitals are receiving a lot of money from SHA and other sources, Mr. Speaker, including Danida. Mr. Speaker, I think the management of these hospitals, or our facilities for that matter, Mr. Speaker, should be checked. CPA Dennis has put it rightly. We are just rushing and saying the report is very good, actually, when actually there is a lot which is hidden within the financial reports. You look at them closely. Because most of the money is just going to waste. Let me say that. Mr. Speaker, we should pinpoint out, because I've given a very good example, if I were here. Many people will tell you we are buying drugs from outside. That there's a lot of money. Other hospitals have surplus. Where is the money going? Why are they not buying drugs? Mr. Speaker, our people are dying daily from diabetes and other related diseases, which are very simple and which can be treated, Mr. Speaker. So we just urge the committee maybe to go back and dig further and try to sample.
Honorable Francis, are you supporting or you are?
I have said I'm supporting with some reservations, Mr. Speaker. That's what I started. So we are saying this, the committee should actually, Mr. Speaker, we are saying the committee should dig further and give us more information on actually what is transpiring within these dispensaries and hospitals and all that. Because it seems like a lot of money is going to non-pumps. We call them non-pumps, Mr. Speaker, and not actually the drugs which they're supposed to prioritize. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Move on.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, allow me to thank members for their contributions. Mr. Speaker, the contribution by the members who have talked is very important. And Mr. Speaker, I was just consulting and I asked myself whether we do oversight on these sub-county hospitals. So we will be able to unearth so much from what is happening in this sub-county hospital, just like Honorable Mutuku has mentioned, that there is some things, you know, as financial reporting, we report as it is. Whether there were not, we report there were not. Whether this was met, we report it was not met. And Mr. Speaker, so I request that Mr. Speaker, through your guidance, that maybe in our next oversight, we do oversight on these sub-county hospitals so that we can see what is happening in our sub-county hospitals. We might be celebrating that an hospital has made a revenue realization of more than 100%, and we clap. But there's something, maybe they have made more than 114%. There is something else which we are not seeing. So, Mr. Speaker, that is my contribution, and I thank members and request them they give this motion a big yes. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Honorable members, I now put the question, which is that this assembly adopt the report of the Committee on Finance and Socioeconomic Planning on county and sub-county hospitals, that is MCRH, Chambeke, Dongoni, Makindu, Kambu, Kisau, Tawa, Sultan Hamud, Mutiambua, Matiliku, Kilungu, Kalawa, Kibwezi, Mboni, Emali, Mtitoandei, and Mkoyoni. Quarterly reports and financial reports for the period ended 30th June 2025, laid on the table of the Assembly on 30th September 2025. Will as many of these opinions say aye? Will as many of our contrary opinions say nay? The ayes have it. I now direct this report be shared to the Department of Health for implementation. Thank you. Next order.
Order number 9, motion. The report of the Committee on Finance and Social Economic Planning on the county municipalities, that is Wote, Emali, and Sultanahmud, quarterly report and financial statements for the period ended 30th June 2025.
Chairperson, Committee on Finance and Socioeconomic Planning.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to move the following motion, that this Assembly adopts the report of the Committee on Finance and Socioeconomic Planning on the county municipalities, that is Wote Municipality and Emali Sultanahmud Municipality quarterly reports and financial statements for the period ended 30th June 2025, laid on the table of the Assembly on 29th September 2025. Mr. Speaker, sir, allow me to skip the introduction part. I will start with the Wote Municipality. Mr. Speaker, the Wote Municipality receipts, the revenues were totaling to Kenya shillings 28,221,665,000. There were transfers from the county government, which comprise of 10,842,389 as actual transfers for recurrent expenditures, and 17,379,276 as payments by the county government on behalf of the municipalities. Mr. Speaker, Wote Municipality made the following payments. That the payments were totaling to 11,259,957 shillings, The payments were on use of goods and services at Kenya shillings 10,174,000. Board expenditure was Kenya shillings 667,000. And repairs and maintenance costs were 417,568. This represents 40% of the absorption of the annual budget. Mr. Speaker, the municipality closed the period with a surplus of 16,961,708. Mr. Speaker, sir, the committee made the following. Before I go to the committee on observation, Mr. Speaker, there is an area of capital expenditure whereby the municipality revised budget of 2024-2025 allocated 13,378,553 as capital expenditure. The actual capital expenditure by the end of the year was 17,379,276, hence 131% utilization by the reporting period. Therefore, a budget utilization difference of over expenditure of Kenya shillings 4,723 shillings. Mr. Speaker, some of the development activities undertaken by the municipality during the reporting period included a cabro paving of Kapeo Cooperative Bank Road, erection of flood lights at Bangladesh Estate, construction of an ablution block at Kalamba Market, construction of pit latrines in Metuvu and Kalioni, drainage improvement and maraming of Old Slaughter to Kwakitindo Road, and the renovation of Old Mukuyuni Marikiti Market. Mr. Speaker, sir, on water municipality financial reports, the committee made the following observations: that the municipality realized that 94% of the projected annual revenues is transfers from the county government, translating to Kenya shillings 28,221,665. Mr. Speaker, sir, the expenditure of water municipality, the board expenses exceeded the annual budget by 157,000. Similarly, repairs and maintenance expenditure exceeded the annual budget by 167,568. Mr. Speaker, sir, the capital expenditure surpassed the budgeted allocation by 4 million. And four, the municipality closed the quarter with a surplus of 16,961,708 shillings, and the absorption rate of the recurrent budget was 76%, while the absorption rate of the development budget was 131%. Mr. Speaker, the committee made the following recommendation on water municipality. In observance of the provisions of Section 149, 1A, B, and 2A of the Public Finance Management Act 2012 and Regulation 43.2 of the Public Finance Management County Government Regulations 2015, the accounting officer should ensure that the municipality's expenditures are kept within the budgetary ceilings, and shortfalls, when realized, should be addressed immediately through the supplementary appropriation. Mr. Speaker, sir, the second report is on Emali Sultan Ahmad municipality, whereby the financial statements show that the Emali municipality received revenues totaling to 10,258,100 shillings during the reporting fiscal year. These were transfers from the county government, which comprise of 8,232,200 as actual transfers for recurrent expenditure, and Kenya shillings 2,025,900 shillings as payments by the county government on behalf of Emali Sultan Ahmad municipality. Mr. Speaker, sir, the Emali municipality paid 5 million, made the following payment: 5,701,000. The payments were on use of goods and services at 5,184,989. Board expenses were at 130,667, and repairs and maintenance costs were 385,781. This represented 50% absorption of the annual budget. The municipality closed the period with a surplus of Kenya shillings 4,556,662 shillings. Mr. Speaker, sir, the capital expenditure of Emali Sultan municipality revised budget financial year 2024-2025 allocated Kenya shillings 37,545,731 as capital expenditure. The actual capital expenditure by the end of the period, or by the end of the year, was 1,915,651, hence a 5% utilization of the budgeted expenditure budget. Hence a utilization difference of 5,630,000. Mr. Speaker, sir, after financial analysis by the committee of this Emali Sultan Ahmad municipality accounts, the committee made the following observation: that the municipality realized 14% of projected annual revenues as transfers from the county government, translating to 10,258,100 shillings. The municipality expenditure of all votes was within the budgetary allocations. The absorption rate of the recurrent budget was 30%, while the absorption rate of the development budget was 5%. Mr. Speaker, sir, The Mali municipality closed the quarter with a surplus of 4,556,662 shillings. There was underperformance by the municipality during the reporting year, evident from the low absorption cost or rates of the recurrent and development budgets. Mr. Speaker, sir, the board should provide a report to the responsible executive committee member on the underperformance of the municipality during the reporting year, clearly highlighting the causes of the underperformance and how those causes have been addressed or are being addressed. Mr. Speaker, sir, a copy of the report to be forwarded to the County Assembly within 30 days of the adoption of this report. Mr. Speaker, sir, thank you very much. I request the Honorable Cosmas Kaleli, Mali Mulala Ward, to second this motion.
From Raleigh Malward.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I stand to second the report. Honorable Speaker, as I second the report, let me inform the House that there is necessity to, as an House, to ensure that there is autonomy in our municipalities. Because as you've really seen, there is underperformance. You know, that in both municipalities, because we cannot talk about municipality because it has to realize its financial statement. Honorable Speaker, the committee is requesting the Honorable House to ensure that we adopt this report so that in 30 days' time, the board will be able to give a comprehensive report to this Honorable House or to the committee of why is it that they are underperforming. Well, we can, because of the transfers from the national government, that reliance on the exchequer, we understand there is a challenge from the national government. But from our own source revenue, there is under collection. And so those are some of the reasons why we would wish to have this report approved by this Honorable House, so that at least it can pave way for a response from the boards on why the failures, action plans by the municipalities, but most importantly, autonomy is the way to go. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable members, I propose the question that the Assembly adopt the report of the Committee on Finance and Socio-Economic Planning on the county municipalities, that is Wote, Mali,
Order number 10.
Committee on Finance and Socio-Economic Planning.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to move the following motion, that this Assembly adopts the report on the Committee on Finance and Socio-Economic Planning on county water companies, that is Kibamawasco, Wawasco, and Bonwasco, quarterly reports and financial statements for the period ended 30th June 2025, laid on the table of the Assembly on 30th September 2025. Mr. Speaker, sir, allow me to skip the constitution part and go straight to the reporting. Mr. Speaker, sir, on Kibwezi Makindu Water and Sewerage Company Limited quarterly reports and financial statements for the period ended 30th June 2025, the receipts of the revenues were totaling to Kenya shillings 102,000, 47,651,000, against an annual budget of 134,681,084 shillings. Mr. Speaker, sir, this comprise of water sales of Kenya shillings that 97,350,801 shillings, and billing for other services of Kenya shillings 1,795,945, grants, income, in kind, contributions, donations from other agencies amounted to 1.7 million, and financial or finance interest, that is interest from commercial bank, amounted to 1.1 million. The total revenue realization represented 76% of the budgeted target. Mr. Speaker, on payments, Kibwezi Makindu Water Company made the payments totaling to 124,946,000, The payments were on staff costs at Kenya shillings 55.5 million, general and other operation expenses at 56.7 million, board expenses at 3.1 million, maintenance expenses at 8.3 million, depreciation and amortization expense at 1 million, and finance cost at 35,888. This represented 101 absorption of the annual budget with an over expenditure of 22,898,361 shillings. Mr. Speaker, sir, the committee made the following observations after analyzation of these financial reports. Mr. Speaker, the Kibwezi Makindu company received 1.7 million as operational grants from the county government during the reporting financial year. 2, the Kibwezi Makindu expenditure of the board expenses exceeded the annual budget by 666,690 shillings. Similarly, general operations expenditure also exceeded the annual budget by 11,986 shillings 215. And that, Mr. Speaker, sir, the Kibwezi Makindu company closed the quarter with a deficit of 18 million, whereas the company produced a total of 2,186,927 metric cube of water. Only 1 million was built, resulting to a total non-revenue water of 1,173,963 metric cubic, which was more than 50% of water produced. Mr. Speaker, sir, the committee recommends as follows. In observation of the provisions of Section 149A, B, and 2A of the Public Finance Management Act 2012 and Regulation 43(2) of the Public Finance Management County Government Regulation of 2015, the accounting officer should ensure that the company's expenditures are kept within the budgetary ceilings to ensure the company does not operate in deficits. And 2, the Kibwezi Makindu Water Sewerage Company Board should ensure that all water produced and distributed to users is billed and promptly paid by the users to cushion the company from running into financial deficits every reporting period. Water sales is the only surest way of revenue generation to this water company. As such, the chairman of the board should, within 30 days of the adoption of this report, file a report with the responsible executive committee member on the strategies to bill all water distributed to the users and ensure prompt payment of the same. A copy of this report should be forwarded to the county assembly within the 30 days of the adoption of this report. Mr. Speaker, sir, the second report is on Water and Sewerage Company. Mr. Speaker, on Water Sewerage Company, the company received revenues totaling to 40 million against the annual budget of 55 million as per financial year 2024-2025 revised budget of the company. The revenue comprised of the operating revenue of 37 million, which comprised of water sales 35 million, and billing of other services, which are 2 million. Grant income from other government agencies was 1.3 million, and the other income, which is sale of tender forms, fines and penalties, skilled labor charges, new connection fees, disconnection or request and change of name. This gave the company a revenue of 1,025,400 shillings. The total revenue, therefore, realized represented 73% of the budgeted target. Mr. Speaker, on payments, the water company during the year made payments totaling to 48.1 million. The payments were on staff cost 19 million, general and other operational expenses at 22.1 million, board expenses at 852,000, maintenance expenditure at 3.4 million, and depreciation and amortization expenditure at 2.5 million. This represent a 87% absorption of the annual budget with a budget difference of 7,130,210 shillings. Mr. Speaker, sir, Mr. Speaker, sir, the company operates water company operates 6 bank accounts, all with Equity Bank, and 1 mobile money account as shown in the report. Mr. Speaker, sir, the committee made the following observation. The company received 1.2 million as operational grants from county government during the reporting fiscal year. 2, the expenditures of water company of all votes of the company were within the approved budget ceilings, save for maintenance vote, which posted over expenditure of 795,622 shillings. Mr. Speaker, sir, water company closed the quarter with a surplus of 7,130,210 shillings, whereas the company produced a total of 457,983 cubic of water. Only 297,586 cubic of water was billed, resulting to a non-revenue water of 160,87 cubic, being 35% of water produced. Mr. Speaker, sir, the committee recommends as follows, that the board should ensure that all the company expenditures are kept within the budgetary ceilings to ensure the company does not operate in deficit, as per the provisions of Section 149, 1A(b)(2) of the Public Finance Management Act 2012 and Regulation 43(2) of the Public Finance Management County Government Regulations of 2015. Mr. Speaker, sir, the water company board should ensure that all water produced and distributed to users is billed and promptly paid by the users to cushion the company from running into financial deficits. Water sales is the only sure way of revenue generation to this company. As such, the chairman of the board should, within 30 days of the adoption of this report, file a report to the responsible executive committee member on the strategies to bill all water distributed to the users and ensure prompt payment of the same. A copy of the report to be forwarded to the county assembly within 30 days of the adoption of this report. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. The last is on Bunge Water and Sewerage Company. Mr. Speaker, sir, on Bunge Water and Sewerage Company, the revenues received by this company was 4.7 million against the annual budget of 5.9 million. Mr. Speaker, sir, the revenue comprised of 2.9 million, all being water sales. Yes, thank you, Mr. Speaker. And other income, new connection fee was 57,315, and Kalao Water Project, cashing 76,637, and the total revenue realized represented 96% of the budget target. Mr. Speaker, Bunge Water, during the year under review, made payments totaling to 6.2 million. The payments were on staff cost at 4.2 million, general and other operations expenditure at 1.4 million, board expenses at 310,000, maintenance expenditure at 203,000, and depreciation and amortization expenditure at 22,000. This representing 131% of absorption of the annual budget, which is with a budget over expenditure of 1,490,252 shillings. Mr. Speaker, sir, the company, Bunge Water Company, maintains 3 bank accounts with all with Equity Bank, and one mobile money account as shown in the report. Mr. Speaker, sir, the committee made the following observation: that the company received 2,008,220 shillings as operational grants from the county government during the reporting fiscal year. The expenditures of Bunge Water Company on all votes of the company were within the approved budget ceilings, save for general and operational expenditure vote, which posted over expenditure of 416,000. The company closed the quarter with a deficit of 1.4 million. Mr. Speaker, the committee recommend the accounting officer to ensure that the company's expenditures are kept within the budgetary ceilings to ensure the company does not operate in deficit. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I request Honorable Cosmas Kaleli to second this motion. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Speaker, I rise to second the motion, the report by the Committee on Finance. Allow me to say, one, we have realized most of the water companies are running at a loss. And one of the key reasons why we are making losses from the water companies is mismanagement. If you go slowly in the report, you realize that non-revenue water is the key challenge. And actually, non-revenue water can be categorized in three categories, where there is the physical loss, where the water doesn't reach the consumer. And actually, this is not so much. You realize most of the non-revenue water is the commercial loss, whereby the commercial loss refers to water that is not billed, it has reached the consumer. Maybe there is that challenging of theft, connections, illegal connections, and that's the major challenge. What's regulations requires that at least the loss should not go past 25%. But from the report, you have realized that it is even going past 50%. That tells you the mismanaged level. And that's why the committee is keen and giving not more than 30 days after the adoption of the report, so that all those water boards can take responsibility and make a report on the strategies they have to put in place to ensure that there is not, this loss is not realized. And actually, if that is taken care of, Honorable Speaker, actually the governance of these water companies will be swift and we will not face a lot of water challenges across the county. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I second.
Honorable members, I propose the question that the assembly of the report of the Committee on Finance and Socio-Economic Planning on the county water companies, that is Kibwasco, Wawasco, and Bowasco, quarterly reports of the financial statement for the period ended 30th of June 2025. The report was laid on the table of the assembly on 30th of September 2025. The floor is open for debate. Mover of the motion. Why here, Kaku?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I think earlier I mentioned about our facilities, and also I want to mention about health facilities. I want to mention something about our water companies, Honorable Speaker. And I will go to observation number, mostly the number 4 in every entity, Kibwezi, water, and it's about the non-revenue water. Honorable Speaker, non-revenue water, if you go to observation number 4, the company produced 2,106,927 million cubic meters, that is. And what was sold or built was 1 billion, 1.0. What was lost, remember, Honorable Speaker, because once you are Waziri Water, what was built was 1.0. What was lost, 1.1. Honorable Speaker, we incur cost on producing this water. I think as finance committee, you should give us the total value of what was produced 2.1 and what was sold, Honorable Speaker, and maybe what is the cost of what was sold and the cost or the cost of what was lost, Honorable Speaker. And also you quantify it on if it was sold, how much could have gotten from that, Honorable Speaker. So at least we know, we may make it in cubic meters, but most people will not know that we are losing money because this water is money. It has been produced and it has fetched some cost on production, and also when it comes to billing, also it brings revenue, Honorable Speaker. Also, you have heard, Honorable Speaker, that some expenditures, they spent more than what was budgeted, 11 million. Honorable Speaker, that is a debt. Who is going to clear it, Honorable Speaker, if they are not making money from what they are selling or from what they are producing, and at the same time, they are spending more than what the grant they were given by the government of Makueni. Honorable Speaker, if these figures are given out very well, we will know our financial position of these entities. Make it Kibwezi, Wote, Boasco, and all that, Honorable Speaker. Because with this just small narration whereby we say we have sold this amount of money, we have spent this amount of money, there is a pending bill of 11 billion, and then we say we produce this amount of cubic meters without value. We have sold these cubic meters without value, and then we have lost more than what we sold, Honorable Speaker. It doesn't add up, according to me, Honorable Speaker. Otherwise, we need to go deeper, Finance Committee, on these matters, quantify, and put in financial terms so that we can flow together, Honorable Speaker. Thank you.
Member for Glowood.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I stand to support the report. And Mr. Speaker, out of observations and also the recommendations from the committee, allow me to also make a few comments that I feel they are very important when it comes to looking to those reports, Mr. Speaker. I don't know, Mr. Speaker, where we'll find a level of integration of reports by different committees in this House. Why? Because, Mr. Speaker, yesterday, Public Investment Committee brought their report on water sewerage company that is actually from the Auditor General's report. And the report pointed out a few things that were of great concern. One, Mr. Speaker, is that the company had a challenge of revenue in terms of finances, and that's why it went ahead and also meant a borrowing of the customer deposits, which to me, Mr. Speaker, when it comes to budgeting, because that has been pointed out, that the companies work within the limits of their budgets. But when we have a challenge in terms of what they are getting from their revenue, that's why the companies are going ahead and making those borrowings from the customer deposits, Mr. Speaker. Number two, Mr. Speaker, we also realized that the management is not adhering to the accounting standards, which is also a challenge. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, if they cannot adhere to that, then the Finance Committee, that should be a challenge that needs to be pointed out, because accounting for those resources is very important. Then, Mr. Speaker, if we as committees of this house, we are not able to dig deeper and come out with those challenges and so on, and also get to understand what the companies are facing, then we are not able to stand a better ground to advise them. Because, Mr. Speaker, the chair has also pointed out that the billing of the water, which is also a challenge, and from the standard, when it goes beyond 25%, because we realize that some companies are also even going up to 50%, then it means that within a period of time, there is possibility of these companies not able to manage or not able to run. And when not able to run, then it means that the people of Makueni are not able to get the services that are entitled to get from those companies. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, it is very important that the table officers can as well look to a level of where different reports from different committees can be integrated and find out what are the gaps, what are the challenges, so that moving forward we are able now to advise the executive committee member and the respective departments. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Mover of the motion. I hope you are not on phone. Honorable Chair, it will be disrespectful to use your phone in this house. No quorum. So while we were on phone, we lost quorum. Sergeant at arms, you ring the bell for quorum. How many more members? How many more members do we require? 2 members? Minority whip? Honorable Gali? Minority whip? Minority whip? Or the mover of the motion is a minority, at least. You are trying, at least, at any sitting, you either have one or none in the leadership. You are either one or none, the Wiper leadership. Muungano tries a little bit, at least 2. Chap has now 2 by chance. Only a Mali is present throughout. I'm saying on Chap, at least Mulale Mali is on throughout from the start to the end. The rest, I'm not sure whether we'll finish with them. And you can always count on the UDA member of the County Assembly. The one who crossed the floor is nowhere to be seen. Honorable Josephine. Honorable Maneno, whip, what's happening to the majority side? Okay. Minority whip. Minority whip, you're only 4 of you. Honorable, who is the leader of the majority? It's none. So I want to send you to the governor that not to accord any appointments to members of the County Assembly during the sitting hours. Yes, yesterday we missed quorum by 2 members. They were over there. I don't want to mention them, because some of the things they discussed, they also discussed with people where I come from, and people told me the matter has been solved by the member and the governor. So, and I'm serious on this matter. Majority Leader, you asked the governor not to host an appointment during the sitting hours. Yes, because many other members who rush there at the guise of plenary. I know 2 are already there, but I've sent a text. They may not see him. Therefore, he may not see them. If you tell him, former and current, they are queuing there every time. Move out the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, sir, on this report, and that has been mentioned by Honorable Dennis of Kakowaya, it is a concern by every member that we are losing a lot of revenue on non-revenue water. We are losing a lot of money. And therefore, that is why, Mr. Speaker, as a committee, we have recommended that within 30 days, the chair or the MD of each water company must submit a report on the strategies they are going to initiate to ensure that we do not continue losing money through non-revenue water. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I believe that once we receive this report within 30 days, we'll be able to share with the members, and as a committee, we will take necessary action after that. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I request the members to give this motion a big yes.
And I'll put the question that is assembled of the report of the Committee on Finance and Socioeconomic Planning on the account water companies, Kibawasco, Kimwasco, and Bowasco, quarter reports and financial statement for the period ended 30th of June 2025, laid on the table of the Assembly on 30th of September 2025. Will as many as of the opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Next order. Before next order, honorable members, I direct that the clerk of the County Assembly, you prepare a copy of this report to be conveyed to the executive committee member responsible for water, responsible for finance, and a forwarding letter to the governor signed by the speaker, and including all the recommendations. Therefore, then the letter addressed to the His Excellency the governor must contain, the letter must contain a summary of the recommendations that have been made. So that then the speaker would directly forward to His Excellency the governor. Next order.
Order number 11, motion. The report of the County Public Accounts Committee on consideration of the report of the Auditor General on the Makwene County Revenue Statements, receiver of revenue for the year ended 30th of June 2025.
Chairperson, Public Accounts Committee. By any chance, do you have a second of the motion?
My committee is a very serious committee with many members here.
Okay, proceed.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move the following motion that this Assembly adopts a report of the County Public Accounts Committee on consideration of the report of the Auditor General, the Makwene County Receiver of Revenue, Makwene County Revenue Statements, that is Receiver of Revenue, for the year ended 30th June 2025, laid on the table of the Assembly on the 11th March 2026. Honorable Speaker, the Auditor General the financial statements of the Makwene County Receiver of Revenue for the year ended 30th June 2025 and gave an unmodified opinion.
with emphasis on budgetary control and performance. Mr. Speaker, sir, the committee considered the report and engaged the accounting officer on the 16th of February 2026 for further clarification on the audit issues raised and noted the following. In line with Regulation 46 of the Public Finance Management Act, Regulation 2015, the management had not put in place various strategies to raise all source revenue during the financial year. Notwithstanding, there was under collection of 180,880,577, that is translated to 12%, and which was attributed to depressed economic conditions. Number two, the outstanding revenue had not been fully collected despite measures having been put in place pursuant to Regulation 63, 1A and B, and 2 of the PFM Act 2015, which provides that an accounting officer or receiver of revenue who experiences difficulty in collecting revenues due to the county government shall report the circumstances to the county executive committee member without delay. Pursuant to Regulation 63, 1A and B of the PFM Act 2015, the county was in the final stages of deploying the Electronic Development Application Management System module within the Land Information Management System, which would address the building plan approvals, which were charged based on the plinth or build-up area, but whose details of plinth area measurements and applicable rates were not indicated on the customer invoices. The Speaker, sir, based on the findings, the committee makes the following recommendations. One, that the committee recommends the head of county treasury should ensure that budget estimates for the subsequent financial years are realistic, complete, accurate, and same actualized for efficient service delivery and effectiveness of operations. Two, the committee recommends that the head of county treasury should enforce revenue collection measures to collect all outstanding revenue arrears as provided for under Regulation 63, 1A and B and 2 of the PFM Act, and report promptly to this committee within 60 days after adoption of the report. Number three, the committee recommends that the head of county treasury should ensure full integration of all revenue systems, a module within the Land Information Management System to ensure accurate revenue reporting in line with the Regulation 63, 1A and B of the PFM Act, and report progress to this as a committee within 60 days. And with that, Honorable Speaker, I appreciate the stakeholders who facilitated the coming up of this report, including the Office of the Speaker and the Clerk. And with that, I ask my Vice Chair, the Honorable Mkaleli, to second. Thank you.
Honorable members, I now propose a question that the Assembly adopt the report of Public Accounts Committee on the consideration of the report of the Auditor General, Makueni County Revenue Statement, receiver of revenue for the year ended 30th June 2025, laid on the table of the Assembly 11 March 2026. Floor is open. Mover of the motion. Now put the question that this Assembly adopt the report of Public Accounts Committee on consideration of the report of the Auditor General on the Makueni County Statements, receiver of revenue for the year ended 30th June 2025, laid on the table of Assembly on 11th of March 2025. As many as of that opinion say aye. As many as of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable members, I direct that this report be conveyed to His Excellency the Governor, County Executive Committee Member of Finance, and all other County Executive Committee members. Next order.
Motion. The report of the County Public Accounts Committee on consideration of the report of the Auditor General on the Makueni County Climate Change Fund for the year ended 30th June of 2025.
Mover of the motion.
Speaker, I beg to move the following motion that this Assembly adopts a report of the County Public Accounts Committee on consideration of the report of the Auditor General on the Makueni County Climate Change Fund for the year ended 30th June 2025, laid on the table of the Assembly on the 11th March 2026. Honorable Speaker, the Auditor General, having outstated the financial statements of the Makueni County Climate Change Fund for the year ended 30th June 2024-25, gave an unmodified opinion based on the following key findings. There was an issue of report on financial statements. There was an issue on emphasis of matter, which had to do with budgetary control and performance. We had one issue on lawfulness and effectiveness into public goods, which was about delay in project implementation. And we had an issue on effectiveness and internal controls, risk management and governance, which had to do with delayed board appointment and composition of the board. Honorable Speaker, the committee considered the report and engaged the accounting officers on the 16th of February 2026 for further clarification on the audit issues raised. Honorable Speaker, the committee made the following observations or noted the following. One, there was delayed disbursement from FLOCA for the CCRI grant, which further resorted to the underfunding arising from the delayed approval of concept notes, environmental and social screening, among others, by Project Implementation Unit, which is PIU. Number two, on the delayed project implementation, Adi Mavineni Water Project and Chandulu Dovoine Water Project had not been completed due to raising water levels in Adi River and grievances raised by the community, and which resulted to change in the scope of works respectively. Number three, the steering committee met only once on the 7th November 2024, while the planning committee met 4 times on the 29th October 2024, 6th March 2025, 16th April 2025, and 30th June 2025. This was contrary to sections 12 and 29 of the Makueni Climate Change Fund Act 2022, respectively, which requires the committees to meet once in every quarter of the financial year. Honorable Speaker, the committee recommends that the ECM responsible for lands, urban planning and development, environment and climate change should have in place an approved work plan that should guide the project implementation unit to facilitate timely approval of all requirements for projects implementations and matching grants, and a report provided to this committee within 60 days after adoption. Number two, fast track the completion of the 2 delayed projects and provide a report within 90 days after adoption of this report. Number three, enforce compliance to sections 12 and 29 of the Makueni County Climate Change Fund Act 2022 by ensuring that the Standing Committee and the Planning Committee hold meetings at least once in every quarter of the financial year as stipulated in the law. Honorable Speaker, with that, I acknowledge those who facilitated this report, the members, the clerk, and the office of the Speaker. Thank you so much. I will ask the member for Emali to second.
Honorable members, I now put the question that is assembled of the report of Public Accounts Committee on the consideration of the report the Retired General of the Makueni County Climate Change Fund for the year ended 30th June 2005, laid on the table of the Assembly on 11th March 2026. Floor is open. Mover of the motion. I now put the question that the Assembly adopt the report of the Public Accounts Committee on the consideration of the report of the Auditor General on the Makueni County Climate Change Fund for the year ended 30th of June 2025, laid on the table of Assembly on 11th of March 2025. As many as of our opinion say aye. As many as of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable members, I direct that this report be conveyed to His Excellency the Governor, County Executive Committee member responsible for environment, climate change, chairperson, climate change, the Chief Executive Officer, the Fund Administrator, the County Executive Committee member for Finance. Honorable Chairperson, while at Senate, the Senate acknowledged that it had received, the Auditor General acknowledged that he had received reports of the County Assembly of Makueni. After examination of the Auditor General, how are they conveyed to the Auditor General? The Senate indicated that they needed not to inquire into the Assembly findings on the report of the Auditor General because The County Assembly had already adopted a report, and the auditor was satisfied. Is it that the Auditor General had received this report in advance? Chair.
Mr. Speaker, once, okay, when we do interrogation, for every audit issue that the auditor raises, we seek concurrence with them. So there are times, especially for reports that don't have many issues, the auditor, right from the time of derogation, the auditor can be satisfied by the responses, either the written submissions or the oral submissions. The auditor can accept that is satisfied. Nevertheless, once the report is tabled, we endeavor to have both the Senate and the auditor furnished with a copy.
The circumstances, Clerk, you supply copies of these reports with the Auditor General and the Clerk of the Senate and the Senator from Makueni. Next order.
Order number 13, motion. The report of the County Public Accounts Committee on consideration of the report of the Auditor General on the Makueni County Empowerment Fund for the year ended 30th of June 2025.
Mover of the motion.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move the following motion that this Assembly adopts the report of the County Public Accounts Committee on consideration of the report of the Auditor General on the Makueni County Empowerment Fund for the year ended 30th June 2025, laid on the table of the Assembly on the 11th March 2026. Honorable Speaker, the Auditor General, having audited the financial statements of the Makueni County Empowerment Fund for the year ended 30th June 2025, gave a qualified opinion. Based on the long outstanding receivables from exchange transaction, Honorable Speaker, it's good that we note that this entity had only one audit issue. Honorable Speaker, the committee considered the report and engaged the accounting officers on the 16th of February 2026 for further clarification of the issues raised. It was noted that loans totaling to 31,837,818 were outstanding due to various historical challenges and unlikely to be recovered. Further, the fund and long outstanding debtor balances of Kenya shillings 58,101,117, which had been outstanding for over 3 years. With enhanced coverage strategies, a total of 504,856 Kenya shillings was successfully recovered during the financial year ended 30th June 2025. And a further 368,752 Kenya shillings from 1st July 2025 to date, all totaling to 873,752. The management had not initiated further recoveries pursuant to Regulation 18(6) of the PFM Act on Makueni County Empowerment Fund Regulation 2022 that provides that any unrepaid loan, including interest thereon, shall be recoverable by the fund as civil debts. The Speaker, sir, the committee recommends that the fund administrator should initiate recoveries pursuant from the defaulters as provided under Regulation 18(6) of the PFM Act, that is Makueni County Empowerment Fund Regulation 2022, that provides that any unrepaid loan, including interest thereon, shall be recoverable by the fund as civil debts and report progress within 60 days after adoption of this report. Number 2, we recommend that the fund administrator should implement a more rigorous assessment process for loan applicants to establish their financial stability and their ability to repay in subsequent disbursements from the fund. Honorable Speaker, that is all. I ask the member for Emali to second. Thank you.
Members, I propose the question that Assembly adopt the report of the Public Accounts Committee on the consideration of the report of the Auditor General, Makueni County Empowerment Fund for the year ended 30th June 2012, laid on the table of the Assembly, 11th of March 2026. The floor is open for debate. Mover of the motion. Honorable members, I put the question of this Assembly adopt the report of Public Accounts Committee on the consideration of the report of the Auditor General, Makueni County Empowerment Fund for the year ended 30th of June 2025, laid on the table of Assembly 11 March 2026. As many as of the opinion say aye. As many as of the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable members, I direct that this report be conveyed to the County Executive Committee member responsible for Makueni County Empowerment Fund, the County Executive Committee member for Finance, the chairperson of Makueni County Empowerment Fund, His Excellency the Governor. Next order.
Order number 14, motion. The report of the County Public Investment Committee on the consideration of the report of the Ndangero and the Makueni County Fruit Development and Marketing Authority for the years ended 30th of June 2018, 30th of June 2019, 30th of June 2020, and the 30th of June 2021.
Chairperson. Chairperson, Public Investment Committee.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I beg to move the following motion that this Assembly adopts the report of the County Public Investment Committee on the consideration of the report of the Auditor General of the Makueni County Fruit Development and Marketing Authority for the years ended 30th June 2018, 30th June 2019, 30th June 2020, and 30th June 2021, laid on the table of the Assembly on 13th October 2025. Mr. Speaker, with your permission, allow me to go to the executive summary because most of the issues that are recurring are actually summarized, if you allow. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, Article 229, Part 4A of the Constitution of Kenya 2010 mandates the Auditor General to audit and report on the accounts of the national and the county government within 6 months after the end of each financial year. Further, Article 229, Part 8 requires that within 3 months after receiving an audit report, Parliament or the County Assembly shall debate and consider the report and take the appropriate action. Mr. Speaker, sir. The County Public Investment and Accounts Committee interrogated and sought evidence from the management based on the following key findings of the Auditor General. 1. Report of the Auditor General on Makueni County Fruit Development and Marketing Authority for the year ended 30th June 2018. Basis for qualified opinion. Number 1. There were errors in presentation and disclosure in the financial statements. Number 2, unsupported board allowances. Number 3, unsupported property, plant equipment. The report on lawfulness and effectiveness in use of public resources. These were the findings. Number 1, Mr. Speaker, lack of operational autonomy. Number 2, failure to deduct and remit statutory deductions. Number 3, late submissions of the financial statements. And then the other issue was a report on effectiveness of internal controls, risk management, and governance. These were the issues that were raised, Mr. Speaker. Number 1, lack of risk management policy and a disaster recovery plan. That was an issue that was raised. Then, Mr. Speaker, when the committee considered the report on Auditor General on Makueni County Food Development and the Marketing Authority for the year ended 30 June 2019, these are actually on the basis of a qualified opinion with the following issues that were raised, Mr. Speaker. Number 1, errors in presentation and disclosure in the financial statements. Number 2, as an issue, and supported revenue. Number 3, and supported board allowances. Number 4, lack of asset ownership documents. Number 5, and the closed short-term deposits. The other matter was on budgetary control and the performance. Mr. Speaker, on the areas of lawfulness and effective use of public resources, these were the issues that were raised, and the committee is able to identify: number 1, lack of operational autonomy. Number 2, irregular operations. Number 3, late submission of the financial statements. Mr. Speaker, on the effectiveness of internal controls, risk management, and governance, this was identified, Mr. Speaker: lack of risk management policy and a disaster recovery plan. Mr. Speaker, on the report of the Auditor General on the Makueni County Food Development and Marketing Authority for the year ended 30th June 2020, the basis of the opinion is a qualified opinion, Mr. Speaker. These were the issues that were raised. 1, errors in presentation and disclosure in the financial statements. Number 2, inaccuracies in trade and other receivables. Number 3, unsupported cost of sales. Number 4, unsupported board allowances. And then the last ones, lack of asset ownership documents. The other matters that are related on the issues that were raised is on budgetary control and performance, Mr. Speaker. Then on the lawfulness and the effectiveness in use of public resources, 2 issues came up, and 1 is lack of operational autonomy. Number 2, late submission of financial statements. On the effectiveness of internal controls, risk and management, as well as governance, there was an issue that was raised by the auditor, and that is lack of risk management policy and a disaster recovery plan. In the financial year 2021, Mr. Speaker, on the report of Auditor General on Makueni County Food Development and the Marketing Authority for the year ended 30th June 2021, the opinion is a qualified opinion with 2 issues that are very clear. Number 1, unsupported director emoluments. Number 2, unsupported property and the planned equipments. Then the other matter, the other issue was on budgetary control and the performance. Mr. Speaker, on the level of lawfulness and effectiveness in the use of public resources, 2 issues also came up, and that is lack of operational autonomy. Then we have a stored juice project. Mr. Speaker, on the effectiveness of internal controls, risk management, and governance, 1 issue also came up, and that is lack of risk management policy and a disaster recovery plan. Mr. Speaker, sir, the committee considered the report and engaged the following officers on 26 June 2023 for further clarification on the audit issues that were raised by the Auditor General. Number 1 is that the committee engaged the representative of Tancheno to interrogate the report with the committee. Number 2, invited the accounting officers, witnesses to appear before the committee to provide evidence regarding the report. Mr. Speaker, the committee made the following general observations, that is the findings. Mr. Speaker, sir, the committee observed and found out that, number 1, the management did not adhere to the required financial reporting template prescribed by the Public Sector Accounting Standards Board, and which is a big challenge. Number 2, board allowance were not supported by the gazettement of the board members. The board members were since being gazetted by the Gazette Notice number 10039 and number 10040, dated 26 August 2022. Number 3, as part of the observation, is that the authority had not been granted full operational autonomy during the period under review. Number 4, Mr. Speaker, it's also part of the observation is that the authority irregularly saved all its revenue to the county revenue fund, which was accounted for as own generated revenue by the county government. Number 5, the financial statements for the year under review were submitted vast due date prescribed under section 149 part 2K of the Public Finance Management Act 2012, which states that not later than 3 months after the end of each financial year, prepare annual financial statements for that financial year and submit them to the Ontario for audit with a copy to the county treasury. Number 6, the authority relies on the risk management policy and disaster recovery plan of the county government of Makueni. Recommendations, Speaker, by the committee. Mr. Speaker, the committee recommends that 1, in future, the accounting officer should ensure compliance with the financial reporting template prescribed by the Public Sector Accounting Standards Board. Number 2, in future, board members should be gazetted upon the appointment. Number 3, to grant the Makueni County Food Development and Marketing Authority operational autonomy, the authority's revenue formally designated and approved as appropriation in aid, and that enabling provisions be included in subsequent county budget laws to support such retention. Number 4, the CAM responsible for the finance facilitates compliance with section 109 part 2B of the Public Finance Management Act 2012, which states that the county treasury for each county government should ensure that all money raised or received by or on behalf of the county government is paid into the county revenue fund, except money that may, in accordance with other legislations. This act or county legislation be retained by the county government entity which received it for the purpose of defraying its expenses, and provide a report to this committee within 6 days after the adoption of this report. Number 5, Mr. Speaker, as part of the recommendation, the accounting officer should always comply with the provisions of section 149 part 2K of the Public Finance Management Act 2012, which states that not later than 3 months after the end of the financial year, prepare annual financial statements for that financial year and submit them to the Ontario for audit with a copy to the county treasury. The last one, Mr. Speaker, the accounting officer should have in place an approved risk management policy and a disaster recovery plan for the authority within 6 days after the adoption of the report. Mr. Speaker, as part of the acknowledgement, allow me to say that, Mr. Speaker, on behalf of the committee, I thank the office of the Speaker and the clerk of the County Assembly for facilitating the committee during the consideration of this report. I also thank the honorable members of the committee for participating in the entire period with zeal and for their commitment in discharging their mandate effectively. Mr. Speaker, sir, on behalf of the Committee on Account Public Investment, I present this report to the Assembly for adoption. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Allow me to call member for Mazongalen, who is also the chair of this great committee, to support. Thank you.
Honorable members, I propose a question that the Assembly of the report of Count Public Investment Committee on the consideration of the report of the Auditor General on Makueni County Food Development and Marketing Authority for the year ended 30th of June 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021. Reports are laid on the table of the Assembly on 13th of October, year 2025. The floor is open for debate. Mover, the motion. Honorable members, I now put the question that the Assembly adopt the report of the Public Investment Committee on the consideration of the report of the Auditor General for the report of the Auditor General, the Makueni County Food Development Authority for the year ended 30th June 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, and the report were laid on the table of the Assembly on the 13th of October 2025. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Honorable members, I direct that the report be conveyed to the County Executive Committee member responsible for Makueni Fruit Development Authority, Chairperson, Makueni Fruit Development Authority, His Excellency the Governor, County Executive Committee member for Agriculture and that of Finance. Now, Chairperson, Public Investment Committee, there shall be a select committee designated the County Public Investment Account, and for purposes of investment will be to do what? Will be inquired to yes, public investment. You have to give us a report to the extent of value for money investment, the financial good standing, profits and loss. Most of your reports are not different from those of Public Accounts Committee. So, Chairperson, Public Accounts Committee, you are only interested in financial prudence. Chairperson, Public Investment, you are not concerned on the financial prudence alone. Your priority is investment. The intention of Makueni Food Development Authority was to help farmers invest, make profit, cause employment, and so forth. So there's a business aspect in Makueni Food Development in the water companies. And therefore, you need to bring that out, because that would be the ultimate question, how the application of finances have resulted, because the books may balance anyway. That's why Public Accounts Committee, according to them, the books of Makueni Food Development Authority were balanced. There were no losses. In fact, they were maintaining the books very well. But your question is not whether the books are balanced, is what is the investment and the economic viability of that program to farmers and to raising more revenue. Yes, so please don't duplicate the work of PAC. 90% is the investment. About the financial, whatever, that's it. And if the Auditor General presents a report that is financial in nature, you may wish to refer it to PAC. If it's about mathematics, figures, and whatever, you can declare interest and say that that is not important to you. And again, when the auditor is around and discussing those functions in the meeting, when you are doing inquiry, you need to ask the Auditor General to give you a public investment audit report not a public account report, because then there are goals, objective, investments, amount invested there, assets, employment, human resource, and the value for money and the investment aspect. So you need to inquire so much into that, so that then more than 80% you show us how we are growing, as opposed to balancing of books of accounts. Thank you. What is it, member from Lale Male?
Honorable Speaker, I am raising on the same concern, especially when we talk about the account serious investments which were done by the previous administration, basically those who were done in the Department of Agriculture. Yes, we are not getting value for money, but now, for example, if we talk about the Kathonsweni slaughter, the Makindu grain growers, of course, the mango plant, where there was a lot of looting, and the rest, including the milk plants, Honorable Speaker. And those are some of the investments, other than the business, that should create market for farm produces, and more so employment for people. That is the key goal of these investments. Actually, we have investment worth billions of money, but we have zero value for that investments. We need to relook on these issues, and maybe we fast track so that they don't seem to be ghost projects, projects that doesn't help our people, that don't help our farmers. Actually, that is the basis of these demand of the project. And actually, if we realize that we cannot, or we are not able to manage as a county government, we may refer to be transferred to the farmers in terms of shares, so that when managed, because literal government doesn't do business. And at that point is when we can now let the farmers to own those investments, so that at least we can have value for money and market for our people, for our producers, and also job for our youth. Thank you, Honorable Suka. It was just on our concern because you mentioned about the park. I was just relating the investment against the achievements or the results. Thank you.
Yeah, in other words, I'm saying is that park, you just read, and as long as books are balanced, you are okay. You can brag. But you never tell us whether there is value for putting that money as long as there are no losses. But investment will tell us whether there is a real deal or no deal to the farmers. Very well, honorable members, in view of that, I direct the Public Investment Committee to, on its own motion, to investigate, inquire, and demand the Executive Committee members responsible under Section 39 of county governments to provide reports on investment value, raw county investments with the Makindu grain grocers, the Kathonsweni dairy. I'm told there is a Kasikeu milling plant. There is one which is supposed to mill unga. Member for Kakoya knows it very well. Kitise slaughterhouse. The milling is associated with former MCA for Kaskeo Tangai. And the poultry of, not Kitise, Kaskeo, the Kaskeo milling. And the Kitise poultry is associated with the second MCA of Kitise of 2013 to 2015 or thereabout. 2017 to 2018-19. That is when the clerk was the MCA. So you can also invite him to share the vision. but it is important you look at them, including now the Makwoni Food Development Authority, and now inquire into what is the investment value and the returns and business making of the county to generate revenue. And again, you may, on your own motion, look at the waters in terms of their sustainability, asking them the questions, how are you sustaining yourself, generating income for yourself without requiring the county to finance you to run the water company? So endeavor to do so. How much time do you think you require? 21 or 30 days, Chairperson? Honorable Gali? 21 or 30? 30 days. Very well. Honorable members, allow me to acknowledge the lady who has been with us from morning, Honorable Fiametta. have, I'm commenting because she was in this chamber from morning and the afternoon. From morning, no, sorry. In the morning, you are in an appointment somewhere. Yeah, For the others, I acknowledge you, but I'm just trying to acknowledge that Honorable Femera was here, and we agreed that we'll acknowledge those who religiously will keep here, not that the others have not. Honorable Esther Gila, I'm afraid you're not supposed to be here, but it is good to get a break, otherwise the singing may be too much in the house. But thank you for blessing us with Honorable Mutiki. Should there be others who may wish to bless us, then you are so welcome in this house, not only members. Honorable members, time being 17:00 hours, the house stands adjourned until tomorrow, Wednesday, 29th of April, year 2026, 14:30 hours.